everybody, welcome to the Wonky Angle, where I talk about electronic music, new and old. And in today, our first ever review on the Wonky Angle, I'm going to be talking about the debut album from Galantis, entitled Pharmacy. So, where to begin with these guys? Well, I can tell you, the first thing that stood out to me about Galantis' debut album was its album cover, which heavily reminded me of a certain album from the Basement Jacks, Scars. So perhaps as a result, I expected a similar experience out of Galantis to that of the Basement Jacks. Yeah, that didn't happen. I think the result is kind of more like Clean Bandit. Like Clean Bandit, Galantis is kind of a house pop act that kind of focuses a lot around big piano chords. However, unlike Clean Bandit, Galantis are a lot louder, kind of more rambunctious, more about the party than the actual music. And they put a lot of effects on their vocals. There's a ton of filtering and pitch shifting on these vocals. If you're turned off by that, you're probably just going to be best off skipping this album entirely. But, you know, it never really bothered me that much. Now, what did bother me about this album, and this is where the Clean Bandit comparison was a major knock against it, there's a disappointing lack of variety on this album. Like, I feel like Galantis pretty much wrote the exact same song 13 times for this album. Every song on this album is outlined pretty much the same way. Like, this is just the predictable build-up, drop stuff we expect out of house music. Filtered vocals, big piano chords, you know the drill. They pretty much use the same formula for all 13 tracks. In fact, some of them are so similar that they sound like the just rewritten versions of the same song. Most notably the songs Forever Tonight and You. Now, I realize You was written first, but these songs sound exactly the same. They're in the same key, they obviously follow the same formula. Aside from the vocals, they may as well just be exactly the same track. Now, the weird thing about this album, though, is that ordinarily this would get old really quickly for me, because I like my variety in albums, but surprisingly, I enjoyed every single moment on this album. I don't know how these guys did it, but whatever formula they used here, it worked. Yeah, it is kind of the same thing over and over. That did take away from the album a lot, but the build-ups are satisfying, the drops are satisfying. Yeah, a couple of them get dangerously close to Avicii territory, but there actually wasn't a single song off this album I didn't like. And on top of that, there were a couple of tracks that did attempt to break the mold. Though they didn't really outline the way they were put together, there were a couple of tracks that did try to do something a little more Clean Bandit-esque. Most notably the tracks Gold Dust and Peanut Butter Jelly. Gold Dust kind of adds in some violins here and there. And Peanut Butter Jelly also has kind of, this 70s disco funk kind of sound to it, though the lyrics are kind of stupid. When the most memorable lyric in your album is "spread it like peanut butter jelly," then I'm having a feeling I should not be taking you guys seriously. Overall though, I think this album kind of invoked Clean Bandit a bit too much for me to truly give it my full recommendation, because for what it's worth, Clean Bandit did this kind of thing so much better. They showed me that they were capable of not just writing the exact same song over and over. They offered a lot more variety. They tried more different things. Galantis didn't. An album as completely monotone as Pharmacy should not work at all, but it does. It's repetitive, it's stupid, it's predictable, and yet I still enjoyed every single moment of it. Part of me is saying, like, geez, these guys have a really limited range. Are they gonna try something new? Give me some kind of variety or anything besides the usual build-up, drop stuff? But another part of me is also saying, well, have you gotten tired of these build-up drop stuff? No, you haven't. It's kind of difficult to pinpoint what exactly makes Galantis work in the face of such obvious formula abuse, but I think it's just they're really satisfying to listen to. They're predictable, yes, but they give you what you want. The hooks are good and catchy, and, you know, that's pretty much all it was trying to accomplish, so there you have it. I give it my recommendation. It's a good album. Incredibly simplistic, but it's a good album. Overall, I think I give this album a solid 7 out of 10. Favorite tracks, probably Forever Tonight, Gold Dust, Runaway, You and I, and Peanut Butter Jelly. If only because of the instrumentation and not really the lyrics. And least favorite track, probably Dancing to the Sound of a Broken Heart. Though, to be honest, they're all pretty good. Picking a least favorite is kind of difficult, because they all sound the same. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Galantis' Pharmacy. That's all for today. See you next time.